Hello, I am Nancy Ann, and today I am excited to be sharing with you one of my very favorite sourdough discard recipes. This is a discard granola. Now, there are a lot of different granola recipes out there using discard, but this one is a little bit different because there's no tree nuts in it. I'm deathly allergic to tree nuts, and I needed to come up with something that I could eat that wasn't too high in fat. I think you'll like this one too. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to not use nuts. Throw whatever you want in this. It's very adaptable. Different types of nuts, different types of dried fruits, or different types of seasonings. You could throw in some cinnamon, some nutmeg, whatever tickles your fancy. Let's get into this. So we're going to start off with 4 cups of rolled oats. And into that, we're going to mix a 1/4 cup of any type of flour. I'm using oat flour, but you can use whole wheat, and I'm assuming you could use nut flours or any other type of flour you would like. Then we're going to put in a 1/2 cup of each sunflower and pumpkin seeds. Both of these are raw. And a 1/4 cup of flax seeds and a 1/2 cup of salt. And I'm just going to mix these together. Make sure everything's pretty well blended. And now we're going to mix our liquids. So I'm going to start actually with this container right here. This is a 1/4 cup of avocado oil. Now, the original recipe that I based this off of called for canola oil, but I've gone to avocado because I've heard it's healthier. I don't know. I think sometimes canola oil gets a bad rap. I think it may have something to do with the way that it's processed. And to it, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of agave syrup. You could actually add maple syrup instead. So I'm just bringing this up to the 1/2 cup line in this little glass container. And now I'm going to put in another 1/4 cup of honey. So it's a 1/4 cup of each of these liquids. I put the honey in last because it's sticky, and I found that when that oil goes in first and then the agave, which is the next thicker thing, it just kind of helps it all slide out easier when I go to mix it all up together. So it's 3/4 cup of liquid total. I'm also going to add to this a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Most of these ingredients I got at Aldi, some I got at Walmart. I go organic on everything I can, but I do not go organic on my vanilla because I think it's added in such small amounts. It really doesn't make that big a difference. That's one place where I can save a little bit of money. I'm going to take this tiny whisk. I'm going to whisk the whole thing together. Now I'm going to put into this that I had actually put the oats in originally, 150 grams of starter. I pre-weighed this, sourdough discard actually, which basically is just old starter. And a tip with discard, if you run out of all of your sourdough and you wash the container and you have nothing left, go grab some of your discard and start over. Just a few feedings and it'll be back up and running again. And so then to this, I'm going to go ahead and add the mixture with the honey and the oil and the agave or maple syrup. You do want the honey in there though. I think that's one of the key ingredients that really helps this to all hold together, the granola to hold together in little chunks as well. Now we're going to give this a stir. I'm probably going to come back in with the whisk in a minute, but right now just use the spatula to get it good and blended. Now, predictably, I'm going to add this to my dry ingredients. The sourdough discard gives it just a little bit of tangy flavor, but it also gives it some of those good nutrients that comes in the sourdough starter. And since this granola cooks low and slow, it's able to retain a lot of those and not lose them through high heat baking. Oh, that's good enough. I get every bit of that out that I can. And now I'm going to take my spoon or my spatula. What is this, a spoonula? It's a spatula that can stir. I guess you would really call that a rubber scraper. I got this when I was on vacation in Maine in a cute little shop. I just love it. Always reminds me of that trip. Mix it up so everything's thoroughly coated with the wet mixture, and my oven has heated. Mine runs a little bit cool, so I heat it to 315 degrees, but my last ovens I could do it at 300. So preheat your oven to 300 degrees. If it doesn't crisp up quite as much as you'd like, the next time you can do it a little bit hotter. It won't hurt anything if it's not completely hot enough. Just making sure we're mixed. All right, and now I'm going to put this in a wide pan. I'm going to spread this evenly in this large, I think this is like a 12 by 15 sheet pan with the sides. You definitely want a pan with sides. Now I'm just going to push it all in here evenly. Scrape the last little bit of this off. And now this is going to go into my preheated oven for 25 minutes, and that's when we're going to add our raisins and our coconut and pop it back in the ovens. This smells so good. I wish there was smell-o-vision for you. So what we're going to do now is take 1 cup of raisins. These are a little stuck together, so I'm going to have to work them apart with my fingers. Just scatter them over. If you'd rather, you can use dried cranberries or currants or golden raisins, any type of little chewy thing you want, or you can put nothing else on it. Just stir it and put it back in the oven. And then my husband loves coconut. I found this unsweetened coconut flakes from Simple Truth, but you can use the sweetened kind if you prefer. I found I had to use quite a bit, and I had to put it in before it goes in the oven the second time and not at the beginning, or else it lost its coconut flavor. I already measured this out, so I know this is a cup. That's the last of it, so that one's done. And now I'm just going to take a spatula and going to mix it up. See how that's coming up in kind of chunks there? Nice big pieces. Just trying to loosen it from the bottom and get those raisins and the coconut mixed in. Oh, this smells so, so good. You want to be sure and put this into an ungreased pan. I should have said that when I was pressing the granola in initially, but not a greased pan, because that will work against getting these nice chunks. And I'm not trying to break the chunks up too much right now. I'm just trying to get everything as mixed as I can. All right. Back out into as even a layer as I can without breaking those chunks up too much. There we go. This is going to pop back in the oven for another 12 minutes, and then I'll see you with the final result. Here is the almost finished product. Now I am going to let this sit right here at room temperature so that it can cool down, and as it cools it will crisp up, because right now it's just a little kind of soggy feeling, just a tiny bit. It gets nice and crisp, and that also helps it with sticking together even better. And then I will scoop it up with my spatula. I will put it into an airtight container, and it will be just fine at room temperature for the next 10 days. If you plan on keeping it longer than 10 days, I would suggest putting it in the refrigerator or the freezer. It keeps well in both just fine. The recipe for this granola will be down in the description box. I will also pin it to the top of the comments as soon as I'm able after the video comes out, as well as my affiliate links for all sorts of different sourdough things. So if you would check those out, I'd be very appreciative. I'd also be appreciative if you would make a comment down in the comments below. It seems like comments are hard to come by for me on this channel, and those are my reward. I really enjoy interacting with you guys. If you could squish the like button, that helps the video tremendously, as everyone knows, and consider subscribing if you like all sorts of different videos about sourdough and now sourdough discard. Mostly scoring, but I am starting to venture into some other things like this recipe. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and we'll see you on the next one. Yummy.